make sure that.
Oh, yeah. Well, a lot of firms won't let you do it. They're gonna proofread your work for probably the first, I think the lady that I worked for did it for like 2 or 3 months, you know, just to make sure that everything was correct and I had my setup correct and I wasn't, you know, doing something shoddy, you know, or whatever, unbeknownst to me. You know, because you don't learn everything in school, you know, so don't think that, you know, well, you know, I didn't learn that in school. You don't learn everything. You learn every day, actually. I mean, I've been out 23 years and I'm still learning stuff every now and then. So, you know, don't think that you're going to learn everything here. The majority of what you need to learn and to get out a transcript, you're going to know, and you should know by the time you get out. Now, everything that you need to know, you know, and we may have taught you one way here in school, and the person that you go work for is like, yeah, we're not doing it that way. We do it a little bit different. You know, but it may be the setup or something like that. It has nothing to do with, you know, ethics or, you know, it shouldn't. You know, it shouldn't have anything to do with that. It's going to be more like the setup and what they want you to do, how they want you to punctuate certain things, whatever. Okay? Number 1, a professional court reporter is conscious about doing a good job. Yes. 2, professional court reporter makes sure that every job is covered competently and that he or she arrives at the scheduled time. Guys, we talked about this last week. To me, and the way that I used to do it when I was, if I showed up 30 minutes early, I was on time. If I showed up anytime inside of 30 minutes, I was late. I was late, okay? You always want to give yourself enough time to be able to set up, be ready, be prepared, you know, and before the parties get there. So you set up the room the way that you want it, or pretty much. You know, sometimes the attorneys may come in and say, oh, I wanted this set up or whatever, and then you can tell them why, you know, well, I need the plug. I only saw that there was one outlet. I need the outlet for my stuff and, you know, whatever. So that's the way I set it up like this. Is that okay if we do it like this? And most of the time, they're cool. They're cool about it. I mean, so, you know, but, you know, you get there late, everybody's sitting down, they're waiting on you. They're going to say, sit down right there. That's where we saved a place for you. Everybody's already sat down. They've got their stuff out. They've got their stuff that they want to market, you know, exhibits, whatever. Their paralegals right there. The other side's over there with the person who's going to be deposed, and you show up late, well, then it is what it is. And if you don't get the plug in, or you got to use that 50-foot extension cord, you know, that you have in the back of your car because you didn't, you know, use enough, or these guys are going to have to get up and move all of their stuff because you didn't plan right. Okay? So always plan ahead of time. Always expect the unexpected. But what if there's an accident? You know, even if it sets me back 20 minutes, I know that I'm 45 minutes, you know, away. I need to leave an hour and 10 minutes ahead of time, just in case. And if I get over there or whatever, and there's, you know what, I mean, there was no traffic, you know, whatever, I mean, I would always go. Take some proofreading, take your computer's going to be there, so if you have some editing, you can edit, you know, while you're there for, you know, 20, 30 minutes. You know, and you can do, you know, 10 pages or so, maybe in an hour, before everybody starts getting there, and then you just, you know, but you're always prepared. You're not the all over the place person. And I promise you guys, attorneys, remember that, okay? 4. 3, a professional court reporter dresses appropriately for the job, taking into consideration the protocol of the situation, okay? Guys, not like you're going to the club, okay? Not appropriate. Sandals, probably not. You know, you always want to go, and you know, the way that I think I heard it in school or whatever, it's kind of like, you know, like you're going to church. You know, you kind of know. I mean, you know, you're going to wear something nice. And we always knew, I mean, we always had to wear a tie. Guys always had to wear a tie with a jacket. You know, and if they said, you know what, it's kind of hot in here, you can take your jacket off, or hey guys, do you mind if I take my jacket off? Yeah, go ahead. You can take your tie off. I don't really care. You know, just they want you to do the job, but you always show up professional. Okay?
Our whole society, as a society, they're all dressing down.
Yeah.
You know, if people don't dress, I remember when we were younger, it's like, when they met business suit, they met business attire.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, it's a business, but yeah, they'll go and,
Even when you used to
very
fly,
casual.
they would kick you off the plane, wouldn't let you board the plane if you weren't dressed nice enough.
Yeah.
Now people wear like pajamas on the plane.
Yeah, you can wear anything.
Yeah, I see
Doesn't
people
matter.
that really,
You know, and you watch all the old movies, guys always had on ties. Always.
And
Everywhere.
undershirt.
Wherever. You know, they were going to the beach and, you know, guys had ties.
My great
You know,
grandfather.
it's-
suit,
you watch
no
those
matter
old
how
movies
hot
that-
or-
yeah.
Like,
It didn't
My
matter.
great grandfather was a farmer.
But I mean, times have changed, you know, and I'm not saying that, you know, I haven't adapted to the times too. I mean, you know, this is the way that I dress for court, but I mean, you know, my judge allows me to do that, you know, and it's something that he's okay with. You know, I don't have to wear a tie, but I'm always professional. I'm always, you know, dressed professional. All my stuff is usually starched, nice, whatever. You don't have to starch it or whatever, but I mean, always look nice. Don't look like, you know, you went to the hamper. No, no. Oh, this one's clean. Really?
Cleaner
No,
than the
guys,
other
come
ones,
on,
yeah.
you know? Always know you're going on the job that next day. Lay your stuff out. Be ready to go. Okay?
No Hawaiian shirts,
Yeah.
Tommy Bahama.
Mm-hmm. No shorts, wife beater, stuff like that. So. 4, a professional court reporter produces a transcript when called for that is an accurate, reliable, neat, and on time. Yes. A professional court reporter charges a fair and honest price that takes into consideration the training, overhead equipment, time, and all of that. Well, whoever you go work for is going to set that standard, so you don't have to worry about that. 6, a professional court reporter keeps abreast of all changes within the profession by attending conferences or workshops. Yes. A professional court reporter keeps his or her equipment up to date and in excellent operating condition. Yes. A professional court reporter keeps his or her mind and body in good health and does not become dependent on drugs or alcohol to function. Yeah. 9, a professional court reporter treats all clients in fair, impartial, and unbiased manner. And a professional court reporter does not give into threats or obsolences. Or obsolence for the profession, but works diligently with the associated and organization to help to build the profession. Huh?
Looking it up,
mm-hmm.
I think I looked it up earlier and they got it.
Okay, the court reporting associations. The national and state court reporting associations do an excellent job in helping to maintain the dignity and respect of the profession of court reporting. All reporters should strive to maintain that dignity and respect by becoming active members of the local and national associations. Absolutely. You know, so we have NCRA, we have TCRA, we have BCCRA. So, you know, you really should become members. Even as students, you know, I've told you guys, get out there, you know, come to the meetings because the reporters are there and, you know, you get to know these guys. So when you get out, it's like, who are you again? I went to SAC. I never saw you at the meetings. I don't remember hearing about you or whatever. You were never involved with anything, you know. Oh, you know, and it comes down, and I'm not saying that it's truly going to happen, but if you pass that state test, you're just as competent as anybody else is. But if this person went to all the meetings, met everybody, and you went to none of the meetings, and it's like,
You can
I don't
vouch for
really
your
know her.
good character.
you know, this other one, I mean, she was really nice, good character, dressed nicely, you know, whatever, always professional. Yeah, I'm gonna go with her. I have no idea about the other girl. So, yeah.
The word was pertaining to becoming obsolete, so basically
Absolutely.
people saying like, oh, you're gonna go out of,
Oh.
you're gonna get replaced by voice reporters.
Mm-hmm. Testing and continuing education. The matter of testing to prove the competency of court reporter and real-time reporters is a subject that is worth discussing because In a very real sense, the skills of the court reporter and real-time reporter are tested every day. Although the subject may seem quite direct and straightforward, it tends to get more complex as one looks at the variety of tests and examinations given in many different situations. Absolutely. So, I mean, and, you know, like I said, we have to attend, you know, continuing education. We have to. I mean, it's not, you know, in order to keep your license, you have to. You know, so it's not a choice. And like I said, I think it's 10 hours. You have to get 10 hours of continuing ed, so.
Are you a member of the TCRA and the NCRA, or just the TCRA?
I'm not a member of the NCRA. I'm a member of TCRA and BCCRA, but I'm not a member of the NCRA. I was trying to think. Yeah. Individual agency test. Most private organizations or court reporting agencies test court reporters who wish to work for them by administering their own examination. Whitney talked about this, okay? You come to work for her, she's gonna test you on what you know about CART. You know, and if you know nothing about it, she's gonna know. Because she set up a test that she's gonna know exactly, and this is kind of the same way. I mean, you go and work for a firm that says, you know, hey, look, I'm real-time certified, and you're not. You know, I wouldn't lie about that, so, and they'll know. Although not required, some agencies rely on the scoring of these individual tests for placement within their organizations. All freelance reporting agencies do not administer a test. Some do and some do not. Some agencies will recognize or require a national certification such as the RPR. Okay? So some states do. They recognize the RPR. Texas doesn't. You have to pass that Texas CSR in order to work in Texas. Okay? There's some states that don't even require a test.
Ohio,
Florida.
couple of them.
So, you know, and someone was talking about it the other day. I was talking to a reporter about it the other day. And it's like, you know, would you go do that or whatever? Or what speed would you be at? No, I was talking to one of the teachers about it. And I was like, you know what? If I wasn't at my exit speed, I don't know that I'd go. Not having passed it, but I mean, if I wasn't at the exit speed, you have to at least be there. I would say that'd be the minimum requirement, but I think, you know, like, and I don't know if this is correct, but I think back in the day, it used to be like 180. As long as you were writing 180, then you could go.
When I tried the school in Ohio, part of the internship was they sent you out at 180 on
Mhm.
depositions to just try it out. And I was like, I'm not going out at 180.
Yeah, good luck. Individual state tests. The different tests offered within a state may be divided into tests for freelancing and tests for official reporters. Passing the state examination may include the issuance of a professional certificate that will certify the reporter. In some states, passing the test or the resulting certification is required to work as either a freelance or an official reporter. Some states require only the passing of a test to work as an official reporter, that is, a reporter for a specific court or government agency. States that require certification to work in a court system administer what is called a CSR, a certified shorthand reporter, or CCR, a certified courtroom reporter examination within that state. Guys, we don't have that. I guess there's other states that have it. I have no idea. I've never even heard of that. You know, that you have to have a different certification in order to work in a court as opposed to taking depositions. Never heard of that. But I guess they do. Currently, 29 states and 2 Canadian provinces require certification to work in some official capacity as a court reporter. The tests offered for certification vary, but most contain a written knowledge test and speed test. The written knowledge portion usually contains a number of questions pertaining to medical or legal terminology, English usage, legal procedures, and transcription. The speed portion may contain literary jury charge and 2-voice material, and in some cases 4-voice material, all dictated at various speeds. only one I know is California.
California's the fourth.
It has a 4 voice. But I think it's at 200 words a minute.
That's still probably challenging.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be way
There's
challenging.
a list in the high-speed room that has the state certification requirements for each state. I was looking at that the other day.
Is that the one that's like in the middle?
Yeah, this is like the 2-page list.
Oh.
So, national examinations. The National Court Reporters Association, NCRA, serves as a testing agent for court reporters throughout the United States and the world. This organization offers a series of professional examinations for court reporters, administrators, instructors, and evaluators of their approved programs. Some of the tests are recognized as standards for hiring and promotion by freelance agencies as well as official reporters. One of the most highly regarded national examinations is the RPR exam that is offered by the NCRA. This examination offers written portion knowledge containing 150 multiple choice questions on various aspects of court reporting. The skills portion of the test is 5 minutes of literary dictation at 180 words a minute, 5 minutes of jury charge at 200 words a minute, and 5 minutes of 2-voice dictation at 225 words a minute. Well, guys, you guys all know that that's the requirement for Texas. A written knowledge test, 180 literary, 200 jury charge, 225 Q&A. So you pass that RPR, you can work in Texas?
It
No.
doesn't make sense. Why do they have that?
I don't know. And Texas does not allow it. They will not allow it. Now, if you're a student and you're like, the school that I'm going to, I'm going to do it on my own. Okay. Well, you can take the RPR, and if eventually you pass the RPR, then that allows you to take the Texas test.
You have to
So
have
you
a-
still have to be certified by an accredited school or have passed the RPR to even take this Texas test. You can't just go in there and say,
I'd like
I'm
to
Joe
take
Blow
it
off the
today.
street and I want to take that test. No, not going to happen. No matter how much money you have, it's not going to happen. Okay? So, a final word about testing. At some point in every student or reporter's life, the fact must be faced that a test of some sort is imminent. Tests are necessary in order to promote and advance ourselves into the field and keep ourselves on our toes. If you are a student facing testing situations daily, you should make every effort to put forth your utmost in every class. You should attend every class every day. You should practice with integrity, setting aside a specific place and practicing at a specific time every day. You should separate study time from practice time. Study time is used for book learning, and practice time is used for writing, reading, and transcribing. Your study time should be divided into separate portions for each subject: English, legal terminology, medical terminology, and so on. Your practice time should be divided into practicing for accuracy and practicing for speed. You should read back at 99.9% of everything you take down and transcribe at least 50%. In reading back, circle any errors in your notes and make a mental note of the words that are giving you problems. Even if you are using real time, you can still read your notes by invoking the software command to show your notes. Practice the words that made you hesitate to overcome the hesitation. For court reporters who are preparing for agency, state, and national tests, take the time to prepare correctly. If possible, obtain copies of previous examinations that will simulate what the questions and speed portion will be like. Practice speed tapes a little above the required speed. Practice transcribing the required speeds. Above all, relax and do not give up. Have confidence in your ability. A number of good books, study aids, and various materials are available on the market for these preparing and taking tests. Guys, that's some of the best advice right there. Okay? And I know that I've told my students, when doing speed classes on what to do, but sometimes when you hear it from somebody else, and it's like, yeah, I've been saying it the whole time. But, it kind of hits home when somebody else tells you. And that's what you should do. Take pride in your work. Take pride in your practice. Set aside time, and you have to do it. You're like, I don't have time. I don't have time. You know what? Well, then you probably don't have time for this profession either. You know, because this profession is very demanding at times. You know, and it's not, you know, if you're scheduled for a deposition and it's like, well, my kid didn't want to get up this morning and doesn't want to go to school. Not that he or she is sick or whatever, and I'm just not going to be able to make it. Guys, you know, so you have to be disciplined in this profession, okay? So you might as well just start now. Start now with the way that you practice, because the same way you practice is going to carry over to the same way that you carry yourself when you get out, okay? Continuing education. In a very real sense, the education of a profession never ends. He or she is constantly striving in ways to increase his or her knowledge and keep the pace with the changing role of the court reporter in an ever-changing technological world. The truly professional court reporter or real-time reporter takes seriously his or her role and does everything possible to maintain the necessary skills and knowledge. Court reporters who are licensed or certified within a given state may be required to complete courses for continuing education and maintain their license or certification. In addition, almost all certification tests offered by NCRA require the earning of a number of continuing education units, CEUs, within a given time. And you do, and I think it's 1. And they go by point, like point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4, and you have to get 1, I think, which equals 10. It's like 10 hours. So you have to get so many ethics, so many technology, I think, and then, you know, other stuff or whatever. So it's broken down.
So you can't just decide that, okay, I want to take this test. Like, say, for instance, the one they have there, the Registered Diplomat Reporter, the RDR. You can't just decide that you want to take that test.
The RPR?
It says RDR. D as
I
in
think you
David.
can go ahead and take those after you've gotten your RPR.
Mhm. Yeah, but do you have to have those CEUs in order to qualify for these tests?
So if you look on the NCRA website and see what it says.
Any questions about this chapter? No? Research for the record, internet, research, citations, and authority. Objectives. List some common dictionaries that may be included in a court reporter's reference library. List some common topical dictionaries that may be included in a court reporter's reference library. List some common legal references that may be included in a court reporter's library. List some medical references. List some encyclopedias, grammar and punctuation references. List some useful references, miscellaneous books,